So first, what is Gaea? I'm speaking for the people that really don't know this kind of softwares. There is Gaea, World Machine back in the day. There is World Creator, and there is Houdini even, you can generate terrain. One of the coolest things about Gaea is the intuitive interface. Even if you're a seasoned 3D artist or just a newbie, you can create something. It's very, very easy. It is node-based. Basically, you have your screen divided in few viewports or windows. The first here is gonna be all of your toolbox, which meaning everything you create starts from here. This is your node graph. This is the viewport, and this is all of your modifier. And this is very, very easy to use. For example, if you want to create a mountain, you just click on the mountain, drag and drop, and it's gonna create a mountain for you. Then you can just navigate the view. But from there, what you can do is now find the orange pile, which is the erosion, or the look dev, which basically gonna be for adding some different detail. You have snow, ice, you have water effect, and all of the data, which is something different I might cover in another video. For now, I just want to show you quickly the ground and why I'm using Gaea for ground. So it's not gonna be a tutorial on Gaea, but now what you can do is, for example, if you want to add erosion, you can either go to the node graph here, and if you hit tab, you can start to write arrow, and it's gonna bring erosion. You can drag and drop it from here, or what you can do is link directly here, start writing, and then it's doing the link for you. So in order to create a foreground, I'm gonna show you a very, very quick example on what I used for the winter cabin. For the winter cabin, what I wanted to start with, it was a noise. So you have your noise here. It actually can be even like a ground. If you're here, it can be something funny. So it depends on your situation. My situation, it was something a bit more flat. What I started to do is play with the modifier here. So the cave, I wanted less stuff, so let's do 2 sounds fine. You have the seed as well. Feel free to move. This one is not too bad. If you noticed, we have modifiers here. The one that's gonna interest me in that case is gonna be the clamp, because remember, I want something a little bit more flat than what it is right now. So for this, I'm gonna clamp the values. Let's do 20%, 30%. Now what I like to do is add some effect. So I'm gonna add what we call a rug. So the rug, what it does is gonna add some cracks. So the strength, sorry, I have to put it maximum. Scale, it's good. I'm not gonna leave like all of this for now. Some modifier, you have to apply them to see the changes. It's too strong. So let's do the sweep. Just increase this. Okay, start to be better. Density as is, and fragmentation. Let's do 100. It's gonna create more cracks effect. Okay, it's not too bad. And the seed, as usual, let's play with the seeds. Find something you're comfy with. Octave, I'm just gonna reduce it because we have too much. Max, I just want, yeah. Oh, this is good. This is what I'm looking for. The next one I'm gonna add, it's called the result, which is basically some sort of erosion. Already start to look great. And here what you want to do is basically, I wanted some sand, apply. So now I have some sort of really cool sand sedimentation on all of the slope values. And now what you can do is add an erosion. So this one is more tricky because you have to be careful. In my environment, I wanted something very like watery, so with lots of flow, which is basically this one. And this flow is the one I use to do my RGB mask, but let's talk about that later. For now, let's trick the erosion. Let's increase. Now that we have some sort of basic terrain almost, you want to go to 1K because you want to see what you're doing. And you see I'm already having way more detail now. For the erosion speaking, what you want to do is rock softness is something I use a lot. Basically making it more hard or more eroded. I leave it by default because it's a sand-based environment, so it's like 50-50. Strength, I leave it as this as well. This one I can just do maybe a bit more soft, something like this. And there is another modifier that I'm gonna show you right now. It's called the stack that I use a lot. And this one is very, very cool because you see what it's doing? It's doing some sort of canyony effect, but it has what we call the talus pass, and this one is even better. And now if I go to stack, you're gonna see the talus is gonna break here. Yeah, you see? This is something very cool if you want to have more rock formation. But let's get back to here. I'm quite happy with the result. I have all of my flow map that you can see from the top view. And you just put that bigger. All of my flow map here is gonna be cool. This is a cool terrain. You might be wondering, but what is he doing? Because it doesn't match what we had before. This is totally normal. There is multiple options on how to do that. Now what you can do, you can create a clamp, but I don't recommend this one. I'm gonna explain why. And what you want to do is try to have something more flat. Now it looks like more like a foreground terrain. Like you can have your camera here, let's pretend, and here you can start to scatter your stuff. The problem with that, I noticed that we lose a bunch of detail because of course it's a clamp. Instead, I'm keeping it like this and I'm gonna export. What you want to do, it's measure. Oops. So measure is gonna be the mesh, and later on we're gonna do the output, which is the texture. But this one come later. For now, let's focus on the measure and let's disable this one. So this one I'm bypassing because I don't want to render it. Make sure that the scale is 1 unit, 1 meter. If you do normalize, your terrain is gonna be like a slight pixel in your environment. You don't want that. So the vertex count, I leave it as is. It's gonna be basically 1 million polygon. And now you can just export it. From there, now that we generated a terrain, like I mentioned, you want to import it to the scene. So the goal here is basically to match the terrain that we have here.